good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane back again with another Powerbook 3 Raising Kanan video. And in this video, I am talking about the season finale from season 1. Let's get into it. This is paid in full. Alright, y'all. The season finale did not disappoint. Quite a bit happened, which gave us clarity into a lot of the most important storylines, but it also ended in a way that really opens us up to go bigger, better, further in season 2. There's so many open ends. And my biggest question is Rock crazy? That's one of the things that was purveying throughout the entire episode. Everybody is questioning Rock and the decisions that she's making. And I'm not gonna hold y'all. In episode 9, I wasn't really questioning her. I was like, all right, this is a part of her master plan. If you missed it, check out my Rock's master plan video where I talk about what I felt like her actual plan was. And I basically gave her more credit than she deserved, because I don't even think that she thought all of this through in the way that she thinks she did. And we see in this episode her rising into this air and confidence, borderline arrogance of herself, and being so sure of the decisions that she's making, saying that they are the best thing for her, for Kanan, for their entire family. However, with each passing minute, it just feels like, no, Rock, you might have got this one wrong. First things first is, I assumed that she didn't want Kanan to actually kill Detective Howard, and that's why he didn't. But Kanan messed up, and I thought it was so beautiful. There's a line that Jukebox says in the episode where she's talking to Kanan at the bodega, and she's just like, you just a dumb kid, you just a fuck up, you just be messing up, but you're supposed to, like, this is the age that you're at where you're supposed to be making mistakes, and you're supposed to be able to come back from these mistakes. And then she goes on to have a conversation about how they live in a completely different world where they're making decisions that are going to be things that follow them through the rest of their lives, and not be mistakes that kids make that they actually can recover and learn from, but be character defining, life defining, personality defining decisions. And it's like, dang, it's the wait for these children for me, because yes, Kanan has been begging to jump into the biz and all of that, and that is partly on him, but as his mom, as the elders within his family, there is a certain level of responsibility for them to be able to rear and guide these kids in a way that actually allows them to enjoy their childhood, and then tries to best prepare them for the world. And the road that Kanan is on, I don't necessarily know. Now, we know exactly where he ends up. However, I think that there's going to be a couple of things that happens that also help autocorrect to get us to get the Kanan that we saw in Power. I don't necessarily believe anymore that Rock is the 100% reason that Kanan was the way that he is, just by some of the decisions that she made, and just by seeing how the season finale played out. But y'all let me know in the comment section down below if y'all think that Rock is mostly responsible for the Kanan that we saw in Power. But anyway, the top of the episode, we see Kanan got scared and actually doesn't finish, which is why Detective Howard is still alive. An alarm goes off on a car, he hears somebody yell, and he basically gets spooked and runs off. Scrap is the one who picks Kanan up, and there's a junkie that's right there that sees him, but he also sees the jacket, and at the moment that he sees him, he's also smoking crack. So we going hope and pray that he don't actually recognize Kanan's face, which is probably going to be the best thing for him to be leaving. Like, by the end of the episode, we see him being taken by Symphony to Maryland. Yes, Symphony, y'all. I'm gonna get to Symphony in this video for sure, but he has to get out of town, and that's probably for the best, because they've already pulled up the junkie, and if they threw Kanan into a lineup, I definitely think that the junkie could identify Kanan. Not to mention, he fell, scraped his hand, so he left his blood at the scene. Now, I don't know, it's a little wet on the ground. I don't know if they're gonna be able to recover, if they're gonna be that thorough, but all of this is just giving botched. This was definitely a botched hit, and I don't know if Kanan was even capable from the beginning. You know, I'm already starting to see things on Twitter and Instagram where people were like, well, Rock already knew that Kanan wasn't capable of killing him, that's why she sent him. But she was definitely given, when she checked in with him after Scrap picked him up, she was given like, yo, is he dead? Like, I told you 3 times, like, you talking about you hit him twice, I told you hit him 3 times, so that what? So that he could be dead. So I definitely think it was in Rock's intentions for Detective Howard to die that night. Now, as the hit is going down, Rock is still at church getting her alibi together, because I know that she didn't want to sit there with her mama and these well-to-do uppity church folk. Marvin actually meets up with Scrappy and Kanan to get the jacket, and then that goes into what his part of the plan was. And we saw in the trailer that he was dressed up as Mr. Fix-It, which I thought was just freaking brilliant. This is how they actually get the jacket back into Unique's place, and they happen to do it right before Unique returns with his son and his baby mama trying to get some stuff so that he can get out of there. It's like literally the only part I think of Rock's plan that worked, because even after that The rest of Marvin part of the plan did not actually work, but this part was truly brilliant. Planning this jacket and hinging this jacket, or the blame of who shot Detective Howard on this jacket, that was truly brilliant. Even down to the nuances of making sure that Kanan walked by the bodega wearing the jacket and the hoodie so that it gets caught on camera, and then talking to Julia and making sure that her story is straight and she knows how to play it. That was definitely truly chef's kiss. If only the rest of the plan was a little bit more thought out. Now, after a cop gets shot, the entire police force decides to grab their vests and run out into the streets and act the monkey fool, as we already know, as to be expected. So Southside quickly went into a war zone with police running around, whether it was canvassing the scene, getting Detective Howard to the hospital, busting heads and ruffling feathers, trying to get answers, running through the projects, tossing people's apartments. You name it, they was actually doing it. And when Lulu sees this, because he's actually at the hospital, it's the same hospital they bring Detective Howard to, he is completely not with the shits and immediately like, get my stuff, we're leaving. Once he finds out that it was Detective Howard that got hit, he knew it was Rock and he had to get to her immediately. Now, part of me wishes that Lulu would have just stayed his behind in that hospital and let Rock do whatever she gonna do, because this was his alibi anyway. But we also know that Lou is not built like that. So he gets Jessica to take him to Rock. They wind up getting into an argument, or basically Lulu just quits before they actually get into an argument or a dispute. He decides to walk away because, and he's, I think, the first person in the episode who really points out how ridiculous this plan is, because you do not kill cops. In the line of work that they are in, killing cops is not even a last resort. It is not a resort. Like, you do not do this, and this is the breaking point for Lulu. However, even with him saying that he wants to walk away, he wants to be done, he wants to go clean, Rock is like, you can't ever walk away, you can't ever be done. What's yours is mine, what's mine is yours. That's it, that's all. And their conversation winds up getting interrupted because they're actually in the apartment in the projects while it's getting tossed. So they gotta also play it cool for these police officers so that she can make sure that her plan works. So we know that Rock in this season rented the apartment that they're in as well as the apartment below, decided to hollow out the oven so that when police were coming through to do raids and stuff, they could toss the product between floors to make sure that they don't ever get caught with it. And they actually tried out in this actual scenario, which is brilliant, but it's also like, had you decided not to kill Detective Howard or tried to, sis, you wouldn't even need to be using this right now. But I guess you needed a little test situation, child. Rock is off her rocker, I believe. And Lulu was one of the first people to tell her. This, honestly, for me, just really sets it up with us being able to see where Lulu is going to start. Lulu wants out. I think that Lulu is going to find a way out. However, he's also going to be smart and strategic about it. And then he's going to battle a lot with his own personal morals, goals, and his code, right? Like, his family is a thing, loyalty is a thing. So I definitely think that we're going to see confliction with him internally as well as with Rock at the start of season 2. We also get a moment where he got to tell Jessica to just shut up and like stay quiet, because she's just running off at her mouth. Like, he needs to walk away from Rock. He needs to just do his record label. He good. He don't need her. He better than her and all that. And while I get what she's trying to say, one, Jessica, you don't know Raquel, so shut up there. Two, you better find some other rhetoric or dialogue to try to get your man to walk away from this life, because you belittling his sister who he looks up to and who is mad loyal to. It's not gonna cut it, sis, because best believe on any given day, if he has to choose between Rock and you, your ass ain't the choice, sis. I'm sorry to tell you, really not sorry, but you ain't the choice, okay? So towards the end of the episode, one of the last moments that we see with Lulu, he's back in the car with Jessica and he has to silence her in this way. And she's saying everything that like he literally already has said. Like, she wants him to walk away. He just tried that. It didn't work. So I'm gonna need Jessica in season 2 to do way less talking and more listening if she want to stay up on this damn boat, because otherwise she's going overboard, if you ask me. Now in the episode, Detective Howard also wakes up, and of course Burke, first thing she's asking is, who did this to you? And we gotta wait until season 2 to see who he's gonna say. It will behoove him to say Unique, but child, because this wasn't actually part of Rock's plan, I can't necessarily say that I think that he will anymore, and he's definitely gonna get some visits paid to him start of the next season. That is definitely where we're gonna pick up with. Though subtle, I think Jukebox played a very, very important role in this episode. She provides so much context and clarity in her dialogue when she's talking to Detective Burke. You can still see like they're kind of looking out for each other, but they also are both playing their roles. Like I love that Burke actually protected Jukebox in her letter from Nicole when that jerk of a temporary partner of hers was trying to take it too far, talking about her clothes and why she got boys' clothes with her. Now, in this case, she had clothes with her because it was for Kanan, but we know that Jukebox is a lesbian and likes to wear men's clothes, and she gets to do what she wants. And this little cis male, white male chauvinist decided to be all, all cis maley and whatnot. I'm sorry, y'all, but I gotta call it how I see it. And in that moment, Burke was still able to protect her and make sure that he didn't take it too far, because you know how they damn do. And I'm just gonna leave it there. But speaking to Jukebox and her presence and her dialogue, when she talks to Kanan, like I mentioned, her talking about them being able to make mistakes and that the world that they're playing in is a grown folks world. She also points out to Kanan that he has no idea who he is, even though he's insisting that he knows who he is. And it's like, no, you don't. Like, she definitely knows him better than he knows himself. And I thought that was really dope. She checks his tough guy persona because he was shaking in his damn boots this whole night, and she could see it, and she called him on it. Jukebox really just gave really great insight, and that's why I say like her presence, like she didn't do a bunch of wild crazy actions, but her even just talking in her presence gave beautiful nuance and clarity. Even her, when they were talking in the bodega, Kanan's like, yeah, Rock got us, like Rock is going to take care of everything, like don't worry about it. She literally stops and says, she just had you hit a cop. Like, let's process that for a minute. Your mama, who's been trying to protect you, didn't want you in the life, didn't want you to do any of these things, was pissed when you shot Buck 20, gave you a gun, and told you to kill a cop. And you seem to think that everything is okay here. She's functioning completely fine and 100% in her right mind and got a valid plan. Kanan, let's stop. And that was definitely the sentiment that Jukebox had. And honestly, by her saying it, for me, it gave me permission as an audience member to also say it and feel it, because I've been trying to like rock with Rock. Like, for me, Rock has been the Rock in this world. And like, if Rock says it, then that's what we going with. That's what's right. That's what's wrong. And in this episode, is one of the very first episodes where I'm on board jumping with everybody else and like questioning her of, girl, was this the right decision? Do you know what you're doing? Or is this damn train going off the tracks? Now, let me go back to Symphony. Marvin gets pulled over doing a routine stop because the South Side is up in flames right now, and they're trying to figure out who just shot this cop. Unbeknownst to him, Tony just helped them put a warrant out on for his arrest, so he gets pulled up and he can't go get to the bodega to take Kanan out of town. So Rock gotta call somebody else to go get Kanan and take him out of town. Who did she call? Symphony. And this just reiterates for me, sis, why did you even get rid of him in last episode to begin with? Why did you lash out on him? Why did you push him away? This man literally has showed up for you every chance he got. He even showed up for you in moments where you didn't know that you needed help or needed somebody to show up for you. But we're gonna throw him away? We're gonna give him back to the street? Why do we do that? Where do we do that? It's going to be interesting to see the role that Symphony plays in next season, because while he is, a student and a teacher and a bartender, he's also definitely very complicit and does not have any problem with the life that Rock is living. So I could definitely see him getting more involved and folding into the organization and taking up a role in that way. But Rock just gotta quit with the back and forth and the bipolarness when it comes to their relationship, because it's not fair to him, if I'm gonna be 100% honest. All right, y'all, a couple of other things that I want to know is things that get said. So voiceover Kanan says you can't trust anyone, not even your own mama, at the very end of the episode. Yo, I think that that's gonna be the theme for season 2. You cannot trust anyone. Everybody's in a place of questioning Rock. Everybody's going to be in a place of even questioning each other, questioning themselves. I think finally Kanan is in a place where he's actually questioning who he knows himself to be and what he knows himself to like actually want, now that Jukebox then read him in that bodega. Rock also says, while she's talking to Lulu, that they don't have enough to go to like walk away from the business yet. And that brings the question, like, what is it that you actually want? What does walking away actually look like? Because you also said in the last episode to Symphony that everything that you had just told him would never be possible. So which one is it, sis? Are we trying to get to a specific goal so that we could do better, be better, and make a pivot, or are we not? And then also early in the episode, Scrap tells Kanan it don't matter who your mother is, you a soldier. And I think that has twofold. That gave Kanan the validation of like Scrap forgives him for all of the bullshit that he did to start with. But I also also think that it gave a foreshadowing for the episode, or at least by the time we got to the end of the episode, because if he's a soldier or just a soldier, he's dispensable too. And I think that that was a nod to that, of like, you just one of these pawns, yo. Like, be clear, understand that. And that's, to me, is one of the realest things that somebody could have actually told Kanan, because he's been operating in a space of privilege because Rock is his mama, but his mama also had him hit a damn detective. So you might not be any different than a street soldier who was just sent to do a damn hit. But that is my breakdown for episode 10. Y'all, let me know what you thought about the episode, about the season, everything about the character. Who was your favorite character? Who was your least favorite character? Let's chop it up in the comment section down below. It has been amazing breaking down this series with you guys through the season 1. Cannot wait for season 2. And I will be following up with a few other videos as we tie up some loose ends and talk about some other things that to me stood out and really are going to prepare us to go into season 2. It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you with the Powerbook 3 Raising Kanan Breakdowns right here on Erica Vane TV. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and join the tribe so that you don't miss any of my new videos. I am breaking down BMF, which also premiered tonight, so check out that breakdown next. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.